Hi Starlights, how are you guys? How are you today on this beautiful Monday? The sun's shining. It's going to be a little warmer. I hope you guys can play outside today. You can stomp around and pretend to be dinosaurs for letter D. So we're on our fourth letter of the alphabet now, letter D. We're in a new month, October, and I have a book for you today about dinosaurs. The Day of the Dinosaurs. So day starts with D. D says D, like dinosaur. The Day of the Dinosaur by Jan and Stan Berenstain. A special kind of beast lived very long ago. Its different forms and names are very good to know. Do you know any dinosaur names? They're kind of long, hard names to pronounce. Long, long ago, before many things we know, before cities and towns and roads, before people, before birds and frogs and toads. Long, long before, it was the day of the dinosaur. Some were very small, like maybe as big as your cat. Some were thin, others were fat. So this one here is called a Fabrosaurus, the one that's kind of the size of a cat. Fabrosaurus. This one kind of looks like an alligator, doesn't it? It was called a Mesosaurus. Mesosaurus. And this big one is called a Urops. Urops. Some were big. Very, very big. The giant Brontosaurus was 70 feet tall. Its name means thunder lizard. It was the biggest one of all. Brontosaurus. Dinosaurs roamed all over the earth, places far and near, but now they are gone. How do we know they were here? We know it from skeletons that they left behind, buried under the earth for scientists to find. So that's how we know that they lived here on earth, because scientists dig up their bones and then they put their bones together kind of like a puzzle to see what kind of creature it was. And they've discovered all of these dinosaur bones. The bones were called fossils, which tell us much about the dinosaur. They tell us its size and shape. They tell us much, much more. They tell us Tyrannosaurus rex was huge and fierce and strong, with terrible quick jaws and teeth 6 inches long. Its ferocity was famous. It has long been told of. What did Tyrannosaurus eat? Whatever it got a hold of. So some dinosaurs ate plants. They were called herbivores. And some dinosaurs, like the T-Rex or the Tyrannosaurus rex, they were meat eaters, and so they were called carnivores. So Tyrannosaurus was kind of like the big, fierce one, the king of the dinosaurs, kind of, because he would eat other dinosaurs. Sometimes Tyrannosaurus bit off more than he could chew. The armored Stegosaurus was pretty mighty too. So this is the Stegosaurus here with these plates on its back. Its back had an armored plate. Its tail was tipped with spikes. It's very reckless not to duck when a Stegosaurus strikes. So he used his tail to defend himself. Brachiosaurus's nostrils were on top of his head. They let it breathe while sleeping in its water bed. So there's a Brachiosaurus. Dimetrodon was a carnivore, which means its food was meat. Its great splendid back sail was used to take in heat. Dimetrodon. The creature pteranodon had a 20-foot wingspan. It was the biggest flyer ever since Earth began. It had 4-foot bill and a very lofty crest. When it comes to flying reptiles, it was the biggest and the best. Archaeopteryx is not an easy word, but neither was it, being Earth's first bird. After dinosaurs came other creatures. They also had amazing parts and features. The saber-toothed tiger, of course, had saber teeth. The prehistoric rhino had rows of horns above and giant tusks beneath. The moa was a flightless bird. It stood 13 feet tall. It had gigantic drumsticks, but its brain was very small. The flightless moa is now extinct. In other words, there's no moa. So extinct means there's no longer living. So dinosaurs are extinct, which means like we can't go to the zoo or anywhere and see them. They no longer live, but we know they were here because of their fossils. But it no longer is the day of the dinosaur, except as fossil bones, they exist no more. They're now extinct. Sometimes we wonder why. Were there just too many for the food supply? Was there great a disaster, or did it get too dry? Scientists really aren't sure why the dinosaurs all died off, but these are called theories, hypotheses. What did happen to the dinosaurs? And these are 3 of the things that they think may be why they didn't live. It's a sort of question scientists like to think about. Maybe you'll be a scientist. Maybe you'll be the one to figure it out. So a scientist that studies dinosaurs is called a paleontologist. So if you grow up to work on fossils and learning about dinosaurs and why they are extinct, you would be called a paleontologist. Can you say that? Paleontologist. Okay, well, I'll see you in the next video at circle time, and we'll talk about how you can make your own, very own dinosaur tail so you can pretend to stomp around and be a dinosaur. And we'll do a dinosaur song for music and movement too. Bye.